Good morning. It is Thursday, June 6th, and I am here in a brand new 2024 Model 3 Performance. I come from a 2020 Model 3 Performance, both in gray, although this one's the Stealth, and my old one was Midnight Silver, which I like better. I know there are people that are doing content about the draggy stuff and the 0 to 60 in quarter miles, and I'm not going to do that because I think I'm 20 pounds too heavy to get a good read. But I will talk about what it's like driving this car 2 days into it and what I think about it compared to the outgoing. Basically, it was an impossible decision to overlook. I had equity in the old one, took a bath on the depreciation and everything, but it was still, when I missed out on the refresh, I think that came in 2021, I was already a little bit frustrated. But when I added up the litany of improvements on this one and thought also about the federal tax incentive, I couldn't resist. But immediately, everything about this car feels more German. I came from a BMW M3, an Audi A7, an Audi SQ5, a Mercedes E500. This is the first Tesla that I've owned, and I've only owned Ys and 3s, that feels more on the German. It feels like Tesla finally got out of being a tech company with a great battery and into the business of making a better car. So the fit and finish just feels more solid. Little things like the door seals that close without that clangy clang of metal. The acoustic glass making a significant upgrade on the interior noise. The adaptive suspension is noticeably better out of the gate in terms of just feeling more nimble, in terms of feeling just more connected and planted to the road. So the things that I've seen other people comment on, it's significant. It feels more stable. I believe the rake might have a little more of an ergo downward lean, if that makes sense. So I get the perception that I'm lower even though I'm not, and I know this because I have a garage where if I don't go at the right angle and speed, I'll bottom out, and it's the same exact situation. The speed doesn't feel really different, and maybe I would need to drive them both back to back. The other one was plenty fast, which, for any of you that haven't ridden in a Tesla Model 3 Performance, you'll get used to it. You find yourself laughing at the fact that you're like, I need 1.9 in a Plaid, because you just, you start to get, but your passengers don't get used to it. They're still like, holy shit. So I don't feel that different 0 to 60, which I didn't think I would with only a 0.2 of a second improvement, and anxiously waiting to see if Elon's going to hit me up for another couple of grand to unlock some more performance there. But what I had expected and hoped and thought, without being a very techie guy, was that the rear motor was going to unlock a little more on the top end, give it a little more oomph once you're going 50, 60 up into 90-ish. It may be there. It's not there in a way that's so profound that I'm like, oh yeah, this is a whole new animal. Oddly enough, my old rear Model 3 almost felt like it had more pull from 60 when you stepped on it. And someone mentioned once the rear wheel torque range might have actually been better in that register because it's a lighter car with the less battery. I don't know. You smart people can comment if you think you know something about that. But what I do notice is that it's it's a fast car. It's great. The new refresh with the software for the user interfaces is pretty cool. The ambient lighting, I could live with or without. And I'm going to give just some impressions on some of the points I've noticed. The reflection in the mirror, I think you can even see it here. The reflection on the dash of the top console is a little annoying once you look at it and you can't change it. So I don't know. I know there's some aftermarket products. I might end up getting one of those. The exterior aesthetics with all the style points and the diffuser and the front fascia and the headlight, even the front end used to be hideous and was the only angle of the car I avoided looking at. I'm not madly in love with the front end now, but I don't throw up in my mouth when I see it. So all around the design, I think, is fantastic. The aggressive staggered wheel set, and I know some people like squared, and I won't deal with that shit. I'll just get my suspension set with a 0 or neutral toe, which I've already made an appointment for. I bedded the brakes literally, right when I got it, so it's pretty good to go. I'm heading right now, actually, to drop it off for the window tint, and you have like 4 minutes to talk me out of getting a stealth wrap on it. The one thing that disappointed me was the paint quality. There's tons of orange peel. If I wasn't so chomping at the bit to take this thing, I almost would have not received it and changed my order to red, which arguably is the best looking color for this model. I just can't do red cars. It's too flashy for me and too trying to be kind of low key to people at work that I got a new car. So sorry, that's my deal. The black, my Y is black. I love it. It's just a full-time job keeping it clean. So I went with the stealth. Paint is not that great, and honestly I liked Midnight Silver better. Had a bluish cool, you know, it was a little bit like it looked different at different times, and I loved it. I think stealth is a weird choice because, you know, it looks black enough. There needed to be a middle ground, and I know hopefully one day I won't regret they'll drop a Quicksilver, which would be great, but I just feel like it should have been a lighter gray. If you want a car that's dark and almost black, get a dark and almost black one, is my thought. So that's it. I'm sorry I'm merging traffic and trying not to kill myself or others. And I have a Raptor in back of me that decides he wants to race like a sports car. So, hey, thank you for getting me filthy. So this is, you know, some other observations I've made is that I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it. I can't wait to get it completely dialed in. I am getting Lumar products for anyone. I'll do some pictures and video clips once I get it back, show everybody what it looks like. The delivery process was really interesting. I don't believe I ever had one where I never talked to anyone. I literally did it all on the app, went up, inspected it, unlocked it, and drove it away. Less than 5 minutes. What else can I tell you about this car? The carbon trim versus the wood. I am going to outrage people. I like the wood. I miss the wood. I'd rather have the wood. The carbon I would only maybe like if there were more carbon elements in the interior and exterior, like if part of the fascia diffuser were carbon, if they did a carbon rear view mirror. I know there's aftermarket products for that, but that, you know, I think that just a couple of bits, kibbles and bits of carbon doesn't in and of itself make it feel enough. The seats, really amazing, very comfortable. I'm not as a rail, I'm about 6'1" and maybe 200 pounds, so, you know, proportioned fairly well, fits me perfect. I don't feel squoze, I don't feel claustrophobic. I don't, as one person mentioned, felt like it was harder to get in and out because of the higher side bolsters. I'm having no issue. The ventilation is amazing. I'm in Arizona, so I'm loving that. And then lastly, I'll share the feedback. My 12-year-old daughter, who has spent a good amount of miles on the old one with me, took my first ride because I wanted her feedback from a passenger, and she's into the car, so she was very aware immediately. She didn't need to be told. She felt that the whole ride dynamic was different. It was smoother, it was more comfortable. It felt like she was observing all those same things from the passenger perspective. She thought it felt faster, so her butt dyno was giving her the impression that it was a faster car, and she absolutely loved it. The sound, probably my favorite thing is the upgraded stereo with the combination of acoustic glass front and back. Remember, that was my big beef with the old one. So fucking noisy. So therefore, blasting tunes in the car is a whole better level. I still get, you know, I'm driving right now. I don't know if the mic will pick it up. Probably not. Still get a good amount of road noise from the wheels, you know. And I know, I think Unplugged Performance or RPM have a supposedly an acoustic reducing skid plate for the bottom. I might break down and get that, just even to protect the bottom, because I have that driveway I mentioned before, and I don't know if it'll help. I don't, you know, I can tell all the noise I'm getting is coming really from the wheels and the floor. So good job on the up top. Stereo's great, and it's fun as fuck. So I hope this was helpful. I only made this, I'm sorry if it's poor quality. I'm not a content creator. I'm not asking for you to hit subscribe and like. I don't really give a shit. I only make things when, as a consumer, I am desperate or looking for information that I can't find, and I figure I'll pay it forward. So this is kind of some of the feedback I was looking for as I was pacing my living room like a jungle cat waiting for the release and to take delivery. If you have any questions about that process, or your EDD getting moved around if you've ordered, or any questions if you're in another variant. I've had a rear wheel Model 3, a long range Model 3, an old performance Model 3, and now this guy. So I think I can probably give you good feedback on any of those. But have a great, wonderful day and week, and stay cool out there, people.